Welcome to another Catholic Family News special report. I'm Brian McCall, and we have a really interesting story for you today. We talk a lot about, Catholics opting out of the sort of modern economy and sort of starting our own alternate economy and being more proactive in that sense of Catholic action. So today I'm here to interview the founder of a Catholic business called Cross and Shield, which sells Catholic items for spiritual combat. So welcome to Catholic Family News, Lou.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
Maybe just start off and tell us about this endeavor that you've undertaken and how you started it. What was your inspiration for Cross and Shield?
The inspiration came from my mother, who for quite a number of years made very high quality handmade rosaries. Back before we moved to the state of Oklahoma, when we were still living up in Ohio, after she converted in 1996 or 1997, she really fell in love with the devotion of the rosary and for our Blessed Mother. And she started getting into making rosaries. And I don't know all the exact details, but basically through word of mouth and that sort of thing and people sharing it, she was making rosaries for people all over the world. And she passed away in 2017, and she left me her rosary bead collection and all of her rosary crucifixes and basically all the supplies that you could need for making rosaries. And I'd been holding on to them for a while until 2020, when I had a work-related surgery that I had to have done. And when I was laid up at home in my recovery, I started tinkering around with making the rosaries. And I was posting them to my Instagram page and showing them to people, and it started generating interest. And then it started generating a lot of interest with people asking for, can you make me this? Can you make me that? And I thought the next logical step would be to just go ahead and make it into a business as a legacy for my mom's memory. And so that's where the impetus for it started.
Great. That's really a beautiful way to honor your mother. Having had a lot of children, maybe some of our viewers have a lot of little children. When they're little, you often get these little plastic rosaries because little kids go through rosaries, like they go through cookies sometimes. Yeah. And so, you don't want them, but these rosaries are not your little kids' rosaries. They are really, beautiful, handcrafted. They, very high quality. Here's one, a picture of one. What's this one called?
That one is called the Grand Marshal.
Wow. And again, having a few of these are some hefty rosaries. They're as I said, they're not your little plastic. They have a lot of heft to them. And so, what's your idea in the way of making the rosaries? What's your vision for what the rosary should be like?
My idea stems from what Padre Pio said when he said that the rosary is a weapon for these times. Mm-hmm. And it is a weapon, and it's a spiritual weapon. And in some ways, I've had some people tell me who've purchased my rosaries that it could be used if you wanted to as a physical weapon, because they are that heavy duty. And and then Our Lady also said to Saint Dominique that the Psalter is a battering ram. And there are a lot of other quotes that you can pick and choose from saints throughout the ages who refer to the rosary as a sort of spiritual weapon. And so that's, at least from a marketing standpoint, the position that I take. And also personally, just from a personal position, I do believe that it's also true that the rosary is literally a weapon.
Yes, I mean, very true. You're right. Our Lady has told us that. Saint Dominic did. So they are definitely because you can only see in the pictures here, but if you hold them in your hand, they are very substantial. And as you said, they really are not. We're not advocating go around hitting people with them,
No.
but they're very, very sturdy, going to last a long time. But they're also, as you've seen in some of the different pictures I've been showing, they also are beautiful. And I think that's, really a nice thing to see about this, because rosaries, we're not Puritans. It's not all about functionality, right? It's that's why we want beautiful vestments for the priest at mass, but they really are very beautiful, and something, even if you look at them while you're saying the rosary, for example, this crucifix here, you can really be inspired. This is really, where do you obtain the crucifixes and the medals and things?
From a variety of sources, but I try as hard as I possibly can to source my materials from either small business owners, Catholic artisans. If they're Catholic, I try to go that route. The medals are all hand cast here in the USA by a small business owner out of Tennessee, who is also Catholic, and she does them in small batches, and they're all, as you can see from the middle in that photo there, is for Our Lady of Fatima. That they're really just you really don't find medals like that anywhere else. Typically you find kind of the oval shaped ones that are stamped out of tin or some kind of light metal, and those are fine, but for the quality that I'm going for, I'm really looking for something that on all levels is a showstopper. And the centerpiece on that one there is also made by it looks like a little angel with his hands praying, is also hand cast by a small business owner. And so I try to source as much as I can, either from US business owners and US suppliers. Sometimes that's not always possible. There are some of the centerpieces that I have for some of my rosaries that come from Europe. And but again, still I try to gravitate towards people who are Catholic business owners as much as possible.
Great. Yeah, and this one I think is called the Guardian, if I remember right.
Yes,
and,
sir.
So what are the beads on this one made out of? They're really an interesting color.
The beads on those are made out of a zinc alloy that are clad in copper. And same thing with the crucifix itself. That comes from a supplier that I have out of Houston. That is an alloy. I think it's a zinc alloy also, but it's clad in copper and then antiqued. I try to find items, parts that are high quality, but not so expensive where it prices it out of the market for most people. So I have a level of rosaries that really start from $20 and go all the way up to, well over $100. And so there's really something in there for everyone, depending upon what you're looking for, and of course, what you can afford.
Sure. No, and again, for particularly if you know someone's making their confirmation, the wedding gift, these are, again, particularly the higher end, a beautiful way, to give someone a gift that they hopefully will be using all the time. I like this one particularly. I'm going to show now with the sort of green overtones, and tell us a little bit about this rosary.
That's one of my newest rosaries that I released here, I think about a month ago. And something that you'll see when you're looking at the rosaries on the website is that they're all, the names of the rosaries are all based upon, there's a theme that runs throughout them. There's either something that's historically based, or they're based on some sort of medieval or old-timey type weaponry. Because, like, again, I play on the theme where, a rosary is a weapon. And so this one here in particular is called the shillelagh, which is an Irish, for lack of a better term, it's a club, so to speak, that was used for settling conflicts between gentlemen, and then also to put it politely, and then also as a weapon of combat. And so this one kind of has an Irish theme with the green tones and the tartan type influenced pattern on the paracord. I looked long and hard to try to find a centerpiece that was something that had something to do with St. Patrick, but I really couldn't find anything. But I thought St. Benedict would be a good substitution. And so that's where that one comes from. And again, those are the centerpiece for the St. Benedict medal is solid brass, hand cast. And the crucifix, the same way, is brass that's been patinaed, where you have the oxidization on it. Same thing with the decade beads. The paternoster beads are solid brass that have been oxidized to give you that green look.
No, excellent. And so that is an actual, I thought it looked like a St. Benedict medal. So you get kind of two weapons for one, a St. Benedict medal and a rosary. So that's excellent. So again, it sounds like the origin really was your mother's interest in making rosaries and bringing those. But the website and your business is certainly beyond that, because you seem to sell some other things. So what are some of the other kinds of items we can find here?
Cross and Shield sells a variety of items. Again, it's Catholic items for spiritual combat with a focus on the rosaries. But as you saw in the picture with the Guardian Rosary, there was a Our Lady of Fatima medal that was there. And so we have a lot of devotional medals that are all along the same kind of look and feel and quality. There are prayer cards that we make that are custom made in-house and designed in-house. So you're not going to find these prayer cards anywhere else, only through us. As well as clothing items, t-shirts, hoodies, that sort of thing. We also do journals that have diary type journals, so to speak, that have covers on them that are very Catholic oriented and themed with imagery and that sort of thing. And so there's just a little bit of everything in there without getting kind of too broad and finding ourselves drifting off the path for kind of what our mission is.
Right, and there you see some of the journals there. Beautiful. So you started this yourself. How long has the Cross and Shield been up and running?
It's been running for about 2.5 years now.
Wow, that's great. And do you sell mostly just in the U.S. or do you have people that can order from overseas?
It's mostly in the U.S., but anybody, we will ship internationally. We don't have any problem doing that. And we've had customers from, as a matter of fact, I had 2 customers today just from Canada. We've had them from Mexico, Australia, Pakistan, as a matter of fact. South Korea, just that we've had customers from all over.
Wow, that's wonderful. Because as you said, these are really unique items. All the rosaries, the prayer cards, you're not just the kind of thing you'll find in your typical religious goods store. So as I said, really unique gift. I know you were kind enough to give my son a beautiful, I think it was heirloom. Is that what one's called?
Yes.
An heirloom rosary for his ordination. So he has them with him down in Sao Paulo, Brazil, as our viewers know. That's where he's stationed, and he carried them down to the missions with him there. So really, really wonderful apostle and a wonderful way to bring together, again, Catholic economy, a Catholic business. So you're not only supporting Lou and his business, but as you've heard, the suppliers that he's very careful about choosing. So it's a great way to spread devotion and that. So if you're interested, as you've seen before, I've shown the website, but it's a pretty easy website to remember. So if you just remember the military theme, Cross and Shield, and I'll pull it up again, and it's just crossandshield.com. So very simple, crossandshield.com. And you can look through there and contact Lou. So is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers about your business or your experience?
I would just like to say that for your viewers, I would like to extend an offer to them. For anyone who happens to be watching this, if you use the following code if you choose to purchase something from the website, CFN as in Catholic Family News 15, so CFN 15, you can get 15% off of your purchase.
Great, and I'll put that in the description for the video. So CFN 15, that's correct?
Yes, sir.
We'll put that in. So thank you. That's very generous, and our viewers certainly do it. We were happy to support good Catholic businesses like this. Well, it was
thank
nice.
you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Wonderful, and good luck in continuing the business.
Thank you, Brian.